Good morning, everyone. Welcome to Candid Conversations, Boss Chicks. I am your host, the laid back, down to earth life coach, Aisha isReal. And as you may or may not know, today is the final episode of this very first season of Candid Conversations, Boss Chicks. So yes, we have had Boss Chick interviews in the past, but season 8 of Candid Conversations with Aisha isReal was the very first season that we split the 1 hour show into 2 separate shows. So we had Candid Conversations Boss Chicks on Saturdays and Candid Conversations Girl Talk on Monday evenings. So I am so pleased with this season. And with that said, this morning's Boss Chick is none other than wellness coach Dr. Yoli Cox, affectionately known as Yoli. She's a warm, charismatic, and disciplined young lady with a background in pharmaceutical sales, a vast knowledge in holistic health, which is wellness and nutrition, mental and emotional health, all rolled up into one amazing teacher. So she's a fitness trainer, pharmaceuticals rep, wellness coach. She has a lot going on, and I just can't wait to get to this interview, and I'm sure you're ready too. So sit back, get ready to take some notes about your health, and just be prepared to get a wealth of information. So here we go. Hey, but before we get to the interview, do me a favor. Like this video, subscribe to my YouTube channel, and then click the notification bell so you'll know every time we post or go live. Thank you so much. Now to the interview. All right. Hello, everybody, and welcome to Candid Conversations Boss Chicks. We are with Boss Chick Dr. Yoli Cox. She is a fitness trainer, a pharmaceutical sales rep, a wellness coach. She's got a lot going on. So she has a lot of reasons why she's on the show. When I tell you, she must be something really special, because when I ask you all for referrals, there were more than one person that referred Dr. Yoli Cox. So I am so excited to hear her journey and her story, and I know that you are too. So let's just sit back and listen, take some notes, and when you're ready, you can ask your question. So welcome, Dr. Yoli Cox. How are you this evening?
I am awesome, and Yoli is just fine. Please feel free to use that.
Okay, sounds good. So how we usually start off is I just kind of give you the floor for a minute or two, and you just tell the audience about yourself and what you do, and then we'll just kind of have a conversation about you so that people can pick up on your expertise and your passion, and then they can, kind of ask you what they want to ask.
Perfect. Thank you so much. You said a minute or two, not 30 minutes. Got you. Got you covered.
Yes, I would like to say something.
Fair, very fair. Yoli is just fine. I welcome that, and that is how I'm recognized on all social media platforms too. So certainly, please feel free you all to follow me, Yoli Cox, on any of the social media platforms. But I have been in 2 different areas, right? Pharmaceutical sales. I have been in the pharmaceutical industry for 20 years at this point. That certainly means I'm 25. Correct. Yes.
Yes, you started very young.
And I have been a nationally certified fitness instructor as well as a nutrition coach going on 15 years now. So I have done both ends. I know and understand the holistic piece when it comes to being well inside and out. And I also understand that sometimes you just got to go to the doctor and do what they say so that you can move in a different direction.
Very
Certainly
good.
this life was not always easy. I didn't always have the same mindset that I had
Mm-hmm.
it. And I literally went from being overweight and obese, really. If you look at
Okay.
the way the things are set
BMI.
up, all of the
Mm-hmm.
scales are set up, literally being obese, size 14, size 16, and I'm 5'1", y'all. So trust me, that it was not looking real cute on a
Okay.
sister at that point in time. And then also just not well mentally, my
Mm-hmm.
emotional health, all of the things that came along with it. And we can talk about my story down the line. But it was at the point that I realized I've got to make a difference in myself if
Mm-hmm.
something is going to happen. The blood pressure is not going to come down. The cholesterol is not going to fix itself. None
Right.
of the things will be okay if I don't start the process of being okay. So here I am now on your show talking about it. I've worked with thousands of people up to this point, whether it's in a class that
Mm-hmm.
I'm teaching physically or in some kind of course online or something like that. But it is such a passion of mine being able to pour into others and making sure that they're leading a lifestyle that makes them well so that they can also pour into others. Did I meet the
Yes.
2-minute piece? Did I make
Oh,
it?
I don't have a timer, but that sounded good. Yes. And I mean, I know that what you're saying that you're being genuine about just because of the responses that I've gotten. Like when I've mentioned, okay, I'm going to have Dr. Yolanda Cox on my show, and they were like, oh, I know Yoli. Oh, yeah. I used to take her class, or I did this, or whatever. And so, I have only heard excitement and pleasant things. So I know that what you're saying is true. And then so you say you started out in pharmaceutical sales and then you started in the wellness. So was there something in pharmaceutical sales that made you go into the holistic realm?
Being overweight, that's really all I can say. I was doing very well, and I was in the field at that point in time, newly married, bought a house. So of course I got all of that stuff going on. I'm
Yeah.
eating and
The
cooking,
American dream.
laying around, yeah, all of those things
Okay.
that come along with it. And
Yeah.
so nothing was changing, but it was when I went to the doctor for my just regular old checkup. And she says, so here's the thing. I'm going to have to put you on blood pressure med, cholesterol med. You are borderline diabetic, and I'm really looking closely at putting something there so that we can lower your A1C. And I'm just like, I'm listening to her call off all of these meds. I'm in
Yes.
the pharma industry. I
Yeah.
high blood pressure med and a diabetic med at that time. And I'm thinking to myself, this is not what I want for my life. This is not what
Right.
the setup is supposed to be. So my ask of her was, okay, let me go out without any of these meds. Let me try
Mhm.
to work out, change my diet, just change the way that I do life. She was
Mhm.
so reluctant. She was just like, you've been doing this for 20 however odd years, of your life. You have gotten to this point in your
Yeah.
family history. What makes me think, these are her words, that you
Mhm.
are going to be different 6 weeks later? I just said, let me try it. So when I got back, levels had started to come down. It was looking a whole lot better. She was pleased. And then
Okay.
I ended up taking this class that I absolutely loved, the very first class that I got certified in called Turbo Kick. It's not even a part of class schedules anymore, but I loved
Okay.
it so much that I started teaching it.
Is
And
that a fitness class?
it is.
Okay.
Think kickboxing times 10. It's just a whole
Oh,
bunch of fun, lots of
okay.
high energy, and a lot of people know me from teaching
Okay.
that. But that is what changed my life. Taking
Okay.
that class and then teaching it started me on the path, and now here I am about 20 certifications later and all the other things that come along with it, because we
Yeah.
are who we are as boss chicks,
Right.
right?
Yes. Okay. So now question, the turbo kick class, you took that within the 6 weeks that you left the doctor and came back?
I sure did. I started
Mm.
taking Turbo Kick 3 times a week, in addition to any other strength training, some things in there. I didn't have a trainer, but I belonged to a women's only gym, so it
Okay.
wasn't so scary. It wasn't so scary
Got it.
like some of the bigger box gyms that you might go in when you're trying to figure it out. I'm not I wasn't an athlete in school, so this wasn't
Okay.
very natural for me. It
Got
wasn't
it.
at all. It was
Okay.
not until I started that it was like, oh, look at that. I got rid of the stuff at the house, the snacks at the house. Even the dog was
Okay.
like, what? Wait a minute. He's looking at me like, we going for another walk?
Right. He's like, I'm tired. I don't need to go. What's going on?
Yeah.
That's funny. So it wasn't hard for you then to like change your diet and do all of those things. You were just completely motivated by the doctor's report.
No, let me tell you something.
Oh,
It is not when you are starting to make change is good and
yeah.
it is positive, but it's not always the easiest thing to do. I mean, if
Yeah.
you go from here, I love chips. Like I
Yeah.
am that girl. I will pop that
Okay.
bag open, and before you know it, the bag is empty. I'm that
Okay.
girl. So I
Okay.
had to start to realize that if I am going to do this, I got to take this stuff out the house. I can't tempt myself from something. I don't do the cold turkey thing. I know me. And I
Yeah.
do say that to people that I talk to. You got to know yourself. If you know what you're triggered by, if you know what moves you, if you're going to sit there and eat a whole
Yeah.
bag of miniature Snickers thinking you just going to eat one, don't buy that bag.
Right.
Don't do that
Yes.
to yourself.
Yes.
So it was not easy,
Okay.
but it was a commitment. It was a commitment that I made to myself because I wanted to be well. I have a daughter. She's 32 now, but raising someone who
Stop.
also, yeah,
Stop.
what?
You have a daughter that's 32?
Yes, I have two grandchildren. She is married and they live in, another state. Yes, yes.
So here I am thinking that you're younger than me.
Oh, ma'am.
Okay. Okay. So look, everybody, whatever Dr. Yolanda Cox, I'm sorry, Yoli has done, you need to listen because I've been amazed. What? Okay. I'm sorry. I did not mean to interrupt, but you just what?
It's okay.
Let's retract. So you have some, look, I'm going to say priceless and invaluable information. I want everybody, if you weren't paying attention, I'm going to need you to stop what you're doing. Look at the screen, get your paper, get your pen, and write this stuff down. Because man, we're going to be talking because I need something. I mean, I don't feel like I look old, but I feel myself aging. So it's like, okay. I'm sorry. Please continue.
No, and you're saying some really interesting things here because everyone, women, I focus a lot of my conversations on things about women, and as we get older, a lot of the things change. Your
Yeah.
body changes, your mood changes. I mean, I'm hot all the time, and then all of a sudden I'm cold, and
Yes.
there are days that I wake up and I'm like, yep, I don't really like the fact that I'm voted today. It's got to
Right.
be today.
Right.
There are all of the things that still go on just because I am a fitness and nutrition enthusiast and a holistic person when it comes to wellness doesn't
Yeah.
mean I don't go through the things.
Okay.
And
Okay.
as someone who is at that 50-year right there, like I'm knocking on the door. Once you open it, I'm in there.
Yeah.
But these are things that happen, and I have to make sure that I'm adjusting life so
Mhm.
that I am also meeting the goals that I have set for myself.
Absolutely. So now do you have because I don't have a thing about chips, but I am a sugar person. Like I like
Mm,
sweets. And so like what you're saying about that bag of miniature Snickers, because yes, you're like, oh, it's little ones. I'll just have one. I
yeah.
mean, I wouldn't eat the whole bag, I don't think, but I can eat way more than I need to. And so like, do you have I don't know, things around the house or daily affirmations or something that keeps you on track when you are? So I know about not having it in the house, but what
Hmm.
about just being out and about
Yeah.
and having, you're like, let me stop here. You know what I mean? Do you have anything
Yes.
that kind of brings you back?
It is. And so outside of one thing, life is all about choices. I don't care what it is. It's always about the choice. If
Mhm.
you know this about yourself, if you know that you are the sweets person, so you have to have dessert, or you have to have a little something sweet. You know how we
Yeah.
did when you're growing up. You got to have a little something sweet. If you
Yes.
know that about yourself, then make it that much. You know what your goals are. I don't have issues with someone having a spoonful of ice cream or a fork full of cake or even two. There are no issues there. The issue comes in is where you're starting to do it all the time, because moderation is key. You know, you've heard that, everyone here has heard that often enough, but you got to be committed to what you want to do with your life. If your goal is to be in a healthy range when it comes to blood pressure, cholesterol, diabetes, all of the things that come along with being an African American woman, then you got to commit to yourself that, all right, I'm going to eat these 2 spoonfuls and then I'm throwing it away. I will do that. If look, if this, and I won't name the company because I'm not getting sponsored by them, but it's this one place that got this lemon loaf. Oh my goodness. I will buy that thing, eat 2 bites of it, and I'm tossing it before I walk out the door. I've had it. It was enjoyable. I enjoyed every bit of the flavor, and now I'm going on about my business, and I don't find myself stressing over, oh, I wish I would have just had it, or I'm not overindulging later because I'm trying to treat myself. Ladies and gentlemen who are watching, we are not pets. We do not treat ourselves with food. Find another way around it, because what that will do is start to create an effect in your mind, heart, and soul, where every time you do something good, you want to reward yourself with food. And most of the time, it's not food or a beverage that's going to be good for you. So what we want to do is start to replace those kinds of energies with other things. You did something amazing. You accomplished something great. Reward yourself with, go do something extra to your nails. Go and sit in the park and enjoy the sunshine. Do something other than reward yourself with food. So that's a tip. I'm just gonna leave that one there.
Yeah, I think that's a good one. To just even change your mindset, how you think about rewarding yourself. So that's good. Yeah, because we usually do, and that's around everything. I mean, just in graduations, right? We go out for dinner. When it's a birthday, we have cake and ice cream. I mean, it seems like everything is centered around food of some kind, and we're not having. I mean, nobody wants that fruit tart cake.
I do. I do like that. I will charcuterie myself to death. Oh my goodness, I love everything about it. It's a part of our culture. Our culture is centered around food, soul food, Sunday dinners, dinners that support baby showers, you name it. And we all know the baby shower meatballs is gonna be there when we get there. But it is a matter of, okay, I'm not gonna eat 10, I'm gonna eat 2, and I'm gonna enjoy it, and then I'm gonna move on about my business. Again, back to choices, and that's what it really is all about.
Okay, awesome. So now with being a fitness trainer, so you don't do turbo kick anymore?
I teach a class at I teach at Lifetime Fitness in Orland Park here, and I teach a class called Strike. So it's a combination of kickboxing, a weighted bar, and then I also do some drills depending on what I'm in the mood for that day. It will range from burpees all the way to floor jacks. It just depends on how I'm feeling and if the people make me feel happy.
No, that's right. So now what is the range of, what is it called? I don't know what the word is right now. Experience that your students have. So like, now I was an athlete. I was an athlete from junior high, from elementary school all the way through high school. And then I had a high school injury and I did not do sports really in college. Like I danced and stuff like that, but not as vigorous as I had done before. But I do I love sports. I love exercising. And right now, I just haven't had the time based on my lifestyle as a married mom and business owner and things like that. So it's like, I'm like, okay, I'm going to get up and I'm going to go at 5 o'clock in the morning to the gym. And then I'm up till midnight working on something. So 5 o'clock is real painful. So I just want to know, like, when students come to you, are you able to accommodate people who aren't like at that level? Because my leg might not go up here.
Yeah, absolutely. And again, the range is from beginner all the way through advanced. It really depends on you and what your level is. I actually have an injury, so I am teaching what most instructors do. My goodness, I don't even know why I am here thinking that it is just me. But we have plenty of pains and things that we have strained. But it's a matter of, again, the commitment, the discipline. What can you do? Let's work with what you can do as opposed to focusing on the things that you cannot do.
Okay.
As far as the time, because I do get questions about that often. I don't have very much time. I'm doing this. I've got the job, and I'm a mom, the toddler, etc., etc., etc. So, what I truly believe, bosses make time for what they truly want in their lives. Schedule that thing. It just like this meeting was scheduled today, and it is a time slot there in my schedule that says meet with Aisha at this time. I also have to put that in for my own personal workout outside of teaching. So my advice there is to put a time slot in there. I don't care if it's at home, it can be at the gym, it can be at, whatever it looks like for you, put the time slot in. I'm not a morning person. You are not going to see me at the 5 o'clock anything. I'm not. I've never been that girl. My poor mom, I don't even know how she dealt with me when I was a little girl. but I'm your evening person. I'm going to get there 5:30, 6:30, whatever that looks like. I'm there. Know yourself. Be honest with yourself. If you know you're not a morning person, don't put that time slot at 5 o'clock and then you trying and not motivated and you are hating every minute of it. No, do it when it's going to be enjoyable for you.
Absolutely. Okay, cool. Because I know sometimes people can be deterred when they go into a fitness class and everybody's moving in the same rhythm and all that. And they're like, wait, I don't know what's going on. And then they might not want to come back. So that's why I was asking,
Oh no. We are family. We are family in that class. I welcome all levels in this class. As a matter of fact, if whoever is out there, if you want to join me one Tuesday at 6 p.m. at the Lifetime in Orland Park, just let me know. Send me an inbox or whatever the case may be, and I will put your name on the list so you can at least try it. You never know what you can accomplish if you don't try. So would love to have you out and would love to meet you and talk to you all. But we have a good time.
Okay. And how big is your class? Like how many people in
It
there at a
ranges.
time?
It can be anywhere from 15 all the way up to 40. It just depends on the day. During the summer months, we get more people. It kind of fluctuates with the outside activity. But fall and winter, class is always packed.
Okay. Okay. Oh, I see. Okay, because people do things outside, so they don't come in as much. Okay. Yeah. All right. That sounds good. Let me see. Did I have any other questions? Let's see. Okay, you already talked about that. You talked about that. Oh, what is your doctorate in?
Oh, I during the time of me getting my master's degree, I was also awarded an honorary doctorate degree in leadership because I was an ambassador I was a U.S. ambassador for a women's organization, and then a lot of my international connections. I've been doing leadership and development for other countries, Africa, Finland, like just so many other. And when I got the phone call, I was stunned. I was in tears. You've been through school and you understand the things that surround it. So to be awarded an honorary doctorate degree because of my efforts, you do things because you do them, because you love what it is you do. So when somebody recognizes that and says, come and do this, and I also want you to speak to the people because of it, I am so grateful. I'm forever grateful.
Yes. Well, I mean, it's called honorary, but that's a major honor. Well, I mean, if you want to spend some time talking about that, because that sounds amazing, we can before I close out. We still have a few minutes. If you want to talk about that, because I think that's interesting. I don't think that we talked about that when we talked before.
I don't think so.
Yeah, I did not know that. I guess in my mind, I just figured it had to do with something in the medical field, some, fitness. I didn't know. So
Yeah.
that is interesting. So your master's is in what now?
My master's is in marketing with a concentration in social media. My
Okay.
bachelor's is civil engineering. So I
Right.
literally, right, when you talk to me, you get so many different things that might go on. So I have the logical piece, the connections that I make just because of my training as an engineer. But then my
Okay.
marketing mind will allow me to branch out and think of things in more color. Is how
Hmm.
the crayon boxes is more than just the 7 colors than
Okay.
like what an engineer would see.
Yes. You got the
um,
64 crayon box.
there you go. We can go all the way up to 128 if you want to, depending on what the what it is we're
Okay.
doing.
Yes.
But I love the work that I do when it comes to fitness and when it comes to health, because there are so many professional women who are really trying to make things happen in their lives. They're climbing the ladder. They're doing all the things that they want to do in order to get there. But then the health piece is
Hmm.
sometimes missing. The emotional wellness is missing. The mental connection is sometimes missing. Is that, and that's because we don't take time for ourselves. We're
Yeah.
pouring into other people and continuously pouring into other people, and then we find ourselves depleted. We find ourselves not feeling very good about ourselves because of that. So that has to be the main focus. If you take care of yourself, then you can take care of others and the projects that you are assigned to.
Absolutely. Very well said. Well, I definitely appreciate that. And I'm wondering, well, my question, my closeout question. So we're coming to a close, and I appreciate everything. I mean, you've said so many different things. I'm sure that whoever's listening can walk away with so much. But in your own words, what makes you a boss chick?
My servant leadership, my determination, and my consistency. Those three things is something that must be there every single day. I have a plan, what I work through every single morning, that involves opening my eyes and meditating. I make myself a juice or a smoothie. That is not a meal. That is simply a part of my life and how I work with my body to start that process.
Mm,
And it is important that I spend time with myself. I have to
mm,
encourage myself, affirm myself before I get started on my day doing anything else. So it's that. And the consistency from doing that has
mhm.
made me feel so much better than I did in even previous years. And again, like I
Okay.
said, you open the door, I'm at 50. So it's that the determination to stay in my gift zone. My gift zone is so important to me because I love being able to connect to people and give them the power to do the things that they truly want to do in their lives.
Mhm.
Whether it is, okay, Yolanda, I'm trying to figure out this whole business model, the strategic pieces of it, because I'm a sales leader, or
Yeah.
I really am trying to figure out how to get my wellness under control. Can you help me there? So I
Mhm.
love that part of it, that determination of it. My servant leadership is something that I have grown up with. My mom
Mm.
and my dad were very instrumental with that. My dad, especially, he took me everywhere.
Okay.
Everywhere he went that he was speaking, I was right there in the front row with my
Mhm.
cute little dress and bows, the whole nine.
Yeah.
It being able to see that in action,
Mhm.
see them in action, has also made me that person. I love, absolutely love being in front of people, being on shows like this, to be able to spread
Okay.
whatever love and light that I have inside of me
Mhm.
to inspire someone else to do better. I wrote about it. This book. I was a co-author in it called
Oh,
"Ain't No Plan B,"
okay.
and it's part of the Miss CEO collaboration. And in there, I talk about opening up a brick and mortar and trying to understand how to manage it when everybody's taking advantage of you, and then
Mm.
also going through a divorce, and also losing my house, and also losing
Mhm.
my job, and my dad passing away. All
Mm.
those things happening at the same time.
Oh,
But
wow.
it is about being strong and
Mhm.
finding the strength that you could tap back into, so
Hmm.
that you can breathe and let it out. But it is, those are things that I'm able to talk to because of the experience. And we all know with experience comes wisdom.
Yeah.
So that part is always ever present.
Okay. Very nice. Are there any words of encouragement or advice that you can leave to an aspiring boss chick? Because that is really the whole purpose of boss chicks, is just to reach back and help pull somebody else up.
Yes, boss chicks, stay in your gift zones, girls. Stay in your gift zones. If it is something that you love, if it is something that you do and you know you do it very well and
Yes.
can't nobody else be you,
Hmm.
you do that thing. Don't be discouraged if for whatever reason it looks like it's failing. Sometimes things have to go down so that they can come up. But if you stay in your gift zone, it will make room for you. You will have the opportunity to reach other people if you're staying in your lane. If I try to be Aisha and host shows and do that, I'm not going, that's not my gift zone. I don't do that well. What I do well is on this side of the camera. I do the things that I am very gifted at, and what I
Hmm.
do allows others to be inspired so that they can also do well. So that is my encouragement to those of you who are listening. Stay in your gift zone.
Yes, that is some very good advice. So, thank you so much. I'm sorry, Yoli, for coming on the show. It has been a pleasure, and you have dropped some major nuggets. I think that, just every time you spoke, you're giving something valuable to the people who are listening. And I think that any aspiring boss chick, would be good to listen to this and take your advice. Definitely consistency, definitely stay in your gift lane. I like how you said that. And just be prepared for whatever's coming.
Absolutely.
But yes, I just definitely and genuinely like to have boss chicks who are willing to share their experience and just be open. And you seem to be just that perfect candidate. So I appreciate you being on the show. And thank you everybody for watching. Don't go anywhere, Yoli. Thank you, everyone, for tuning in to see Dr. Yoli Cox's Boss Chick interview, which also happens to be the Boss Chick season finale. Don't worry, we will be back in January with more Boss Chicks. But tune in on Monday, December 18th at 7:30 p.m. for our holiday show and season finale of Girl Talk. Get the book, get the course. They're both amazing, I promise. Happy holidays. Be blessed.